So welcome to our call tonight where we are going to talk about Plexus, what it is, why we do it, why we love it, how it's changed our lives, and a little bit about the core basics. To introduce myself, my name is Julia Bender. I am a mom of 4 kids. We have 3 biological and 1 adopted, and I have been doing Plexus for about 4 years. I had struggled with a lot of health symptoms starting in middle school and high school with really bad stomach aches. I'm going to keep admitting people while I'm talking because I can double task. And then went on to take a lot of medications for my skin and a lot of antibiotics all the way up through Accutane. We were diagnosed with unexplained infertility when we tried to have children. So lots of hormone treatments there. I don't know if any of you guys can relate to those fears around not being able to have children, but it was a lot. And then I had my children and I had really severe postpartum. So then I wasn't a great mom to the children that I had. And a lot of it was just, I didn't understand what was wrong with me. I yelled a lot. I cried a lot. I remember my husband saying, "What is wrong with you?" And me yelling back, "I don't know." Like, and I mean, this is even a generation that talks about postpartum, but you're always just like, yeah, it's for somebody else, right? It's really hard to recognize because it's an imbalance, right? And my husband's in the military, so he was gone a lot and had upcoming deployments that were on and off and on and off. So here I am, a bundle of stress. I'm having my third. My postpartum was the worst it had ever been, and I sunk into severe depression, lots of different medications, never felt great. And then my mid-30s, I was diagnosed with a viral thyroid imbalance and an autoimmune. And I just thought, I'm not 70, like what's happening here? And with my younger son, who also had health problems, febrile seizures and infant asthma, between the 2 of us, we were at the doctors and hospital a lot. We called 911 a lot. We showed up at the hospitals in the middle of the night, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. I drove myself to the hospital many times, and I just kept getting turned away. A recent therapist said, "Maybe you were just an overwhelmed mom," but I literally thought I was losing my marbles. And I was like, I need to be admitted. For what? For crazy mom. Like, I would tell them like something is wrong with me because I just felt so horrible. And then I started looking into natural solutions, and I started reading about gut health, and I started reading about like the root cause and adrenal fatigue and like why people have thyroid imbalances. And so then I'm like circling all the things, like I've been stressed and I crave sugars and stomach aches, headaches, like all the things. Like, what do I do? And then it was like, go find a nutritionist or go on this diet. And I'm like, oh, the diet, right? So because I had massive sugar and carb cravings, I didn't sleep well. Like literally all the things in like the chart for Plexus of like, what do you struggle with? That was probably like 13 out of 14. But I looked healthy and I showed up at the parties and I showed up at church and I did all the things. And I masked a lot of how I felt, except my family really suffered at home. And so at some point, a new friend to me, Brooke Hemingway, started connecting with me, and we talked about kids and family, and she posted about Plexus. And I just thought, well, that makes sense. Like, sometimes we make it so complicated, but I was like, well, that makes sense. Like, just treat the root cause. I've been on so many medications that didn't treat just the Band-Aid. Tell me more about what you have. And it went from there. And I have now been on it for 4 years. I'm off all medication. My son is thriving. Asthma's off his charts, hasn't had a seizure in 2 years. And I am off medications the doctor said I would be on for the rest of my life. So that is my quick story in a nutshell. I fight for my health. And I imagine if you are here too, there's something within you that's saying, I want something different. I want something better. This can't be like, if you look in the mirror, you are not like, yes, that's the person I see, that you're like, there's got to be something more. Where is she? And that's what I thought. I thought, where's the person God created me to be? Because this isn't her. And I've been following a path that has healed different parts of me to allow the better parts of me to come out. And it's a lot of work, but it is worth it. So Plexus, essentially, if you're wondering like what it does to the core, it's holistic plant-based supplements that treat the root cause of health. Let me mute anyone that's coming in. Admit, we've got a couple of people popping in here. So it focuses on 3 things: reducing inflammation in the body, systemic inflammation, balancing your blood sugar and hormones, and detoxifying and balancing the gut. I had tried, and many of you have tried one of these three things at different points in your life. We've gotten the multivitamin, we've gotten the probiotic, we've tried Activa yogurt, we've noticed no difference. Or we have taken birth control to balance your hormones, or the patch, or those other things that really make us all go crazy. Or we've tried inflammation, we've tried ibuprofen, we've tried all of those things to reduce the inflammation because we have aches and pains. But never have we tried something that doesn't cause any side effects other than detox, which can be funny if you can laugh at really bad gas and like breakouts and, a possible sneaky UTI that pops out. But that is not forever, right? And so we work through our bodies to heal layer by layer. And sometimes it's good layers, and sometimes there's a bad layer that sneaks in there, and then another good layer and another good layer. And if you imagine brushing your teeth, like no one wants to hang out with the person who brushes their teeth like once a month or like once a year because it's just gross. And that's very visual. That's what's happening in your gut. And when you were able to brush out that candida yeast and work through that literally every day, your body starts to heal. And then when you go into the dentist, he's like, actually, you're doing pretty good and we have no cavities. Versus like, hi, and he falls over. Because that's probably what my gut was looking like at that point. And it caused a lot of secondary side effects. And I think a lot of us can relate to that too. I also had an eating disorder because I hated myself for always craving sugar in college. And I felt so sick after, but I couldn't stop. And so I want you to think as you're learning about this, like what are the parts of me that are hidden? What are the things that I struggle with that I don't tell anybody about? What are the things that I lie awake at night and I can't sleep? And I just wish, oh my gosh, can I please just fall asleep? Or that I see someone out there running in my neighborhood and I think, gosh, I wish I had the energy to run. Like those quiet little thoughts. I want you to think about that. What could improve if I switched a little bit and if I change a little bit and I've tried something different and I've really stuck to it and went all in? So I'm going to have Brooke share a little bit about her story, and then we'll kind of divide and conquer the products if that's okay. And again, use the chat, ask any questions along the way.
Hey guys, I'm happy to be here tonight too. So I am a mom of 6. My youngest is 3, my oldest is 14, and I started Plexus when one of my babies, my 5th child, was about 6 weeks old. So I was postpartum. I had this little tiny baby, and my only 2 questions were, is it safe to take while I'm nursing a baby? And is this some kind of crazy stimulant like thing that is going to be unhealthy for me and is going to create problems down the road? Because I didn't want to become addicted to anything, which is something that like a lot of people worry about. Like they think they're going to become addicted to supplements or it's going to have like negative long-term effects. And so those were my questions. My background is as an ICU nurse. I was an ICU nurse for 10 years. And I also worked in health and fitness as a fitness instructor for over 20 years. And so I had quite an extensive background in health and wellness. And the fact is, even though I knew a lot of the things that I needed to be doing, I wasn't necessarily doing all of those things. I was moving most days of the week, so I had the exercise thing down for the most part, but I was not eating in a way that was super healthy. It wasn't like terrible because where I live on the island of Kauai, there's not even a lot of fast food around. Like even if I wanted it, I couldn't really get it, or I'd have to drive an hour to get it, and it's just not worth it. So I wasn't like a garbage disposal with what I ate. However, I did have a lot of cravings for sugars and carbs, and I always had multiple like 12 packs of Diet Coke in the pantry because I was so tired. So I was drinking a lot of soda, and I always wanted a little something sweet, like you would eat your salad and eat your good food. And then you'd be like, now I deserve a cookie, or now I deserve like half a bag of the Hershey's Kisses. You guys are raising your hands. You're like, yay, check. I ate such a healthy lunch. So now I get to treat myself to something naughty. I used to label foods, naughty, bad, good, etc. Right? And so I was constantly sort of self-sabotaging myself with these unhealthy habits, and my energy just kept going down and down and down. And I was starting to feel more inflamed. I had Achilles tendonitis, plantar fasciitis. I started having a lot of trouble sleeping at night. I couldn't fall asleep. I couldn't stay asleep. I would wake up 3, 4 times at night. And it wasn't because I was having to feed my baby necessarily. She was actually a pretty good sleeper. She'd get up like once, like 3 a.m. or something to nurse. And so a lot of people will be like, oh, yeah, of course you can't sleep. You have a lot of kids and you've had a lot of kids in a lot of years. But I felt like it was unnatural and I just couldn't get myself to rest. And I think part of that was the level of anxiety that I had. I also had tons of anxiety and I would have almost irrational fears and panic like, dreams and things that would happen that would just make my heart race. And I didn't identify back then that it was anxiety, but now I know that was anxiety. I just thought, what's wrong with me? Why am I not happy? Why don't I have energy? Why am I not eating as healthy as I know I should be? Because I know all these things about health. And what I learned and now understand is that you're not weak. It's not that you don't have good willpower. You're not broken. You're not unfixable. What I've learned is that when your body is not balanced and your body's not getting the nutrients it needs, or when your gut is imbalanced and when you have too much bad bacteria, not enough good bacteria, you're going to struggle. And your gut is literally going to send messages to your brain to feed it with sugar, with carbs, with alcohol, with anything that's like sweet and yummy and savory and all those kinds of foods. Literally the microbes in your gut speak to your brain. And also, if you're struggling with blood sugar imbalances, right? Has anybody here ever experienced being hangry, feeling shaky, sweaty, nauseous, irritable, like you're going to bite your kid's head off, right? That used to be me all the time. I would wake up hungry. I would snack at night. So maybe I had an 8 to 9 hour window where I didn't eat because I would snack before bed and I would get sweaty, shaky, and irritable if I did not eat at least every few hours. So I had symptoms of hypoglycemia, I had blood sugar imbalances, and that did lead to me being a couple extra pounds overweight, but also to this like snacking habit that's really not healthy for your hormones and for your metabolism. And so I had imbalances. And when I replenished my body with supplementation that I needed, minerals, antioxidants, vitamins, omegas, probiotics, when I replenished my body and gave my body what it needed, I started to see all these different symptoms go away. The first things that I noticed was that my energy started to come back. And that, like, in and of itself, if all I had gotten was my natural energy back, I think I would have been good. Like, because that was like such a huge thing to me, you guys. I took a nap legitimately every single day, every day. 1 to 2 hours, some days 3 hours. If the little one slept longer, I would just sleep the entire time. The only reason I'd wake up is because they would wake up, climb out of their crib, and come and wake me up. I was just out, knocked out, which, probably wasn't the safest thing, but I was just so exhausted. So I got my energy back. I stopped snapping at my kids. My mood was so much more chill, so much more calm. And I gave up my 3, 4 Diet Cokes a day habit. I didn't feel like I needed it all the time. And I stopped snacking so much. I don't have a candy cabinet in my kitchen anymore. I make cookies maybe like once every 3 months now. And I used to make sweets like brownies and things like that way more often. Hey, you guys, I still enjoy a good cookie. Can I get like who enjoys a good cookie? I mean, come on. Like if you would have told me I would never eat a cookie again or drink a soda again, I would be like, I don't want what you have because I think we all enjoy those things, but to eat them all the time takes our health down the toilet. And so now I naturally have self control. Like I can stop at one plate, I can stop at one cookie. I mean, if it's really, really good, I might have two, but I'm not going to sit there and have 10. Like, and that's no exaggeration. I used to make cookies and just like have 10 by the end of the day and be bloated and all this kind of stuff. And so it really, really is true. And I just want to speak to the point before we kind of break down some products of why we need supplementation and why it's not something you become addicted to. Okay. It's not a medication. It's not something you can become addicted to. Supplementation is basically like these basic building blocks of nutrition and substances that our body, our cells need in order to focus in the proper way. And what's happened is throughout time, because of a lot of things, monocropping, the way that our soil quality is, how early our foods are picked and how long they sit in refrigerators and shipping. Literally, we do not get the same nutrients out of the food that we eat that we did 50, 70, 100 years ago. And so you might be eating these beautiful salads and you might be eating all of this great clean stuff, but you're getting like 30, 40, 50% of the nutrients from that as when it was grown in a time when we didn't do all this monocropping or we didn't have all this GMO or all of this kind of stuff. And so we need supplementation. It's been documented in a lot of studies, and it's even been documented as far back as 80 years ago, you guys. 80 years ago, they were doing studies on this. And so our bodies need supplementation. I could argue till I'm blue in the face about that. You need proper supplementation, and you want to take it in the good form, that's in the bioavailable form, that's clean, that doesn't have harmful additives, synthetic sweeteners, colors, flavors. Plexus leaves all of that out of their supplementation, which I'm so proud to be a part of a company that does that. And it's not something that you become addicted to, but here's what you will experience. When your body gets what it needs, guess what? You feel good because like you're not deficient anymore. And so if you want to go back to being deficient, you might have some of those things come back because you're deficient. And so the way to look at supplementation is that it is nutrition, it's nutritional support, it's nutraceuticals, it's filling in the gaps where your diet lacks, and it's a part of my nutritional budget. And because it's a part of my nutritional budget, guess what is not a part of my nutritional budget? Chewy runs, Swedish fish, bags of Hershey's Kisses, cases of Diet Coke, and on and on and on and on. And I feel 1000% better. So that's what I wanted to share with you about my story, about supplementation, and maybe just chat for a second about the triplex. Would that be okay? Okay, so I'm going to just share for 2 minutes about the triplex combo. The triplex combo is our foundational combo of products. It's based around 3 root causes: decreasing systemic inflammation, getting your gut healthy and balanced, and balancing your blood sugars, aka improving your insulin resistance. I already drank my Slim. It's empty right here. But what I do is I actually don't have my Slim here. I've got bottles of products, lots of bottles of products here. I've got my ProBio 5 and my Bio Cleanse, and Julia's got the Slim there. Okay, so the triplex is these 3 products, hence the name triplex. Okay, so these are our gut health powerhouse products. These are incredible. They're different than other gut health products in that we try to really address eliminating the overgrowth of excess bad microbes in the gut. And so we have this concept of weed, feed, seed, and protect the gut. And so these products are helping to weed out the overgrowth and the constant insults that our gut gets, because you don't just weed a garden once. It's like people are like, do I have to be on this forever? It's like, well, are you going to brush your teeth? Are you going to exercise? Are you going to try to eat your veggies? Are you going to try to sleep 7 to 8 hours a night for the rest of your life? I hope so. Are you going to need good nutrients for your entire life? Depends on how you want to live your life. If you want to live your life feeling good and having your best health, you probably are going to supplement for the rest of your life. And so just build it into your budget and know that that's probably going to keep you away from a lot of things. Not to make claims, but it will keep you away from a lot of things that perhaps you don't want to ingest for the rest of your life. So weeding out the bad stuff from the gut is what the ProBio 5 and the Bio Cleanse does. It's also rich in magnesium, which 80% of people are deficient in. And it's also going to put back in a lot of the good probiotics and beneficial yeasts that your gut needs. You simply take these at night. Pretty simple. If you tend to be more constipated, more bloated, you might take this twice a day. Super easy. The Slim that Julia had is a blood sugar balancer. It's antioxidants and minerals, naturally sweetened with stevia and monk fruit, colored with beetroot extract and natural colors, no synthetics in it. It helps to improve insulin sensitivity. Insulin is your master hormone. It's so important that we have really good glucose control and that our insulin is really sensitive. You don't want to be releasing tons and tons of insulin all the time, because insulin's job is to take the glucose in your blood and bring it in and store it as fat. Who here wants more stored fat? Not me. Nope. Not me. It's not what I'm looking for. It's not what most people are looking for. And so it helps to improve insulin sensitivity. And what that's going to do as well is insulin is a hormone, and all of your hormones communicate with one another. And so if insulin is out of whack, what's going to happen to your thyroid, to your cortisol and your adrenals, to your progesterone, estrogen, testosterone. Even us ladies have testosterone inside of us. We're going to have imbalances potentially in our other hormones that could even create things like having a really terrible cycle, right? Or having like issues with our skin or issues with our mood. And the last thing that the triplex can help with besides that is decreasing inflammation. And that's because of the specific antioxidants that are in the slim. And so decreasing inflammation is incredibly important for everything from your immune system to your weight to, has anybody ever been the type of person that woke up and your hands were kind of puffy, your eyes were kind of swollen, you get out of bed and you feel kind of creaky and rickety? That's how I felt a few years ago when I started Plexus. Before I started, I would get out of bed and feel kind of creaky and rickety, and my joints would hurt and my eyes would be puffy. It's called inflammation. I didn't know I had it. And so the triplex is what I started with. And then I added an X Factor very shortly after. This is our multivitamin and our multimineral supplement. This is fully methylated in the bioavailable form. It's also our product of the month. So if you add this to your order, you get extra credit for it. We get perks when we order our products, which helps us earn free products. But this is an incredible vitamin that actually gets absorbed because it's in the methylated form. It can also help with things like hot flashes, night sweats, hair, skin, nails, immune health, and energy, because when you get the vitamins and minerals you need, it does help with your energy. So those are some core products, and Julia will take it away from here.
Hey, so I was just writing down that it has grapeseed extract, which specifically helps with with hot flashes. So Phyllis used to call it bursting into flames, and her doctor was like, you just need to eat better and like exercise more. And she's like, what? So absolutely, this helps with that. It also has clinical specific ingredients that help if you have any type of thyroid imbalance. Aloe is very healing to the gut. And again, like over 50% of people don't absorb synthetic vitamins. It takes multiple steps for your body to go through to get through a synthetic vitamin. And a lot of us can't, which is why if you've ever taken a multivitamin before and you still feel totally drained, or like for me, I took just an over-the-counter multi. I tried to get a decent one when I was pregnant. I couldn't do the giant horse ones. And I had 2 root canals when I was done, and I felt physically depleted. This has been a game changer for me because you should have more energy and a good amount. And the aloe, again, is really healing to the lining. So that's fantastic multivitamin. It's like $34 as a wholesale customer. You're not spending like $50 to $70 on it. It's amazing. And then there's an X Factor Original, which my kids take, or it's like a slightly less potent version of that as well. So we have 2 different multis. I'm also going to share about this lovely little packet that will just make you happy. It's called Active. Active is amazing. Like if you imagine like all those sodas that people drink, but you're like, I don't try to do that because Coke can clean a toilet. Active is fantastic for clean energy. Like this is for all the teenagers out there cramming down those monster drinks. All the husbands, like my dad would drink during really bad work periods of travel and overseas travel. He would drink 7 to 8 Diet Dr. Peppers a day. This is really common for people. And if you're just like, I'm struggling with energy, or I worked with a lady that drank 2 to 3 pots of coffee a day. This is a fantastic replacement. This is not like a boost of crazy energy. It's just clean energy, no crash, all plant-based. It also helps with mental clarity. So a lot of people, like high school kids, will mix up a pink drink and an active, and they can actually operate and be, do well at their sports and listen in class all day. It helps increase your natural nitric oxide production, which means it opens up your blood vessels. Yes, 3 monster drinks a day. This is such a better, healthier replacement. It is all crushed up plants, and it has extra things in there. It has like other crushed up antioxidants and fruits that are great for your health. So helping with mental clarity, again, huge. Great for people with heart problems, or if you have any type of focus issues, it's great for that as well too. Brooke gives it to one of her sons. He drinks like a half because he's younger. And this isn't, again, like hyper energy. So all of these products, if my 3-year-old or 5-year-old takes a sip, I'm not like, I'm like, sure, do you really need more energy? No, but you can have my pink drink, except it's mine because it's good. So that's a little bit on those. We also have extra support for weight loss as far as like really clean Protein shakes. Protein shakes don't work worth anything if you're off balance. If you're replacing your meal, but you are still exhausted, have crazy hormones and on tons of over-the-counter medications, it's not going to do what you want it to do. And so that's why this isn't a diet system. This is a heal your body and then add that in as a replacement. And it's again fully methylated. It has fiber, which keeps you fuller longer. There's clean whey and vegan. So there's great options there. I mix mine every morning for breakfast, and I used to drink like have eggs and spinach and toast, and I'd still be hungry 30 minutes later. So I am full, I'm satiated. I know that I'm getting like all the vitamins and minerals of like a full legit balanced meal, and it's fantastic. And I give it to my kids as well. So we have things like that. We also have a really clean skincare line where we have a night serum, a day serum, and a collagen. This is the collagen, and this is one of the serums. Again, these meet European standards. So you're not getting a bunch of synthetic fillers. They actually work. Brooke, I think we're the same age, right? Brooke and I are 41. So both of us have literally aged backwards. She's 42. I'm almost 42. Aged backwards the last 4 years. Like this is no joke. We have fine lines and wrinkles that have diminished. Like you end up staring at your skin and you're like, where did that like crater go? That was a sunspot. How did that go away? And your fine lines and wrinkles decreased. We've had clinical studies done on our products from like machinery that test the reduction in wrinkles and the increase in hydration. So again, these are all fantastic products, like 3 pumps in the morning of the day, 3 pumps at night of the night serum, like done and done. This isn't like a 15-step system. We also have a fantastic face wash. So they're coming out with products. The thing I love most is that everything is preventative. So this focuses on the microbiome of your skin. It can be applied across your entire body. Collagen is fantastic for joints and all of that stuff. It's not just for skin. Collagen will go in your body wherever it needs it, whether that's your joints, your face, your knees, your tummy from having babies. Like it knows where to find where it's lacking. And it's really incredible. It's marine and bovine collagen. Does anyone have any questions so far on anything that we've shared? Are you like so excited? Because I am so excited for you. I didn't ever hear one of these calls. I was just like, tell me what you're doing, help. But I am so passionate about these products because preventative health is where it's at. Preventative health is what will keep you out of the lines at the doctor's offices. And that should not be your hangout spot, you guys. You should be at the park with your kids. You should be like showing up for your grandkids. You should be going on walks and enjoying life and truly thriving and feeling like your health is going forwards into a thriving place, not regressing. You should feel like you're sleeping deeply and that you have great energy throughout the day, that your skin's getting better, that your joint pain, your stomach pain, your headaches, whatever those things, like when you get to a place where you're like, I suffered with stomach aches for 20 years and I literally prayed every single time, God, make this go away. 20 years later, I had an answer. And for me to be in a place where 4 years in, I maybe have a stomach ache once a year is huge. Like that pain point is gone. And I never could have imagined that. So think about your pain points. Like what would life look like if those things were gone or diminished or reduced? How could you show up better in your life? How could you show up better for yourself, for your family, for your service, for your community? That's what we need to think about here. And then just to let you know what's happening as far as like prices and recommendations, typically it's $39.95 for wholesale membership like Costco for a year. Costco's like 50. I think I pay the 100 one, so I get money back. So I pay the 100 one, so I get money back. You pay $39.95 once a year so that you get your money back because you get a percentage back on what you're ordering. You also get perks points, which means like every 2 or 3 months, you get to pick a free product. Julia does not skimp and wait for these little X factors. I save up for this. And then I get this $50 bottle of beautiful stuff that's like a Mother's Day gift to yourself or my Joyome, and I get it for free. And I'm so happy because I used to pay for it. And so now I don't. And it's an incredible way to do it. So $39.95 once a year. Right now it's $9.95. It also allows you to get wholesale products for 20% off every single month. Again, you get money back on your own orders. You're able to refer with a couple friends, and we highly recommend you always start with friends. you will fail. Like that whole thing, like if a mime does something or yells in a forest and nobody hears him, did he yell? Like if you start this and do not tell a soul, there's a 90% chance you will fail. You will quit on yourself. You will say, it's not working. I don't think it's for me. Maybe now's not the right time. If you start with at least one, ideally 3 people, there is a 90% chance 1 year from now, you will sit here and be speaking on this call and say, oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you, because this is what's happened in the last year. And I never could have imagined feeling like this and showing up in my life this way. So you're going to think about people in your life that struggle with their health, that struggle with their energy, that struggle with their thyroid, that are always sick, that are drinking their 3 monster drinks a day. And you're going to say, do this with me. Like, can I tell you about what I'm starting? Let's do this together, because people are pouring into you. You need to show up for other people. That's how it works. You can't show up for the person that invited you. That's their job. Your job is that you are going to be consistent. You're going to show up. You're going to move your body. You're going to drink your water. You're going to slather yourself in Joyome, because you are going to show the people that you're helping, look what's happening to me. And then when you are having horrible gas for 2 weeks, you can laugh with your friends because your friend has a UTI and your other friend's breaking out. Or you cheer your other friend on who lost 5 pounds because you've gained 2 pounds. And you know that things are shifting, things are moving. And then you celebrate your wins along the way. Oh my gosh, I lost 4 pounds. Oh my gosh, I stopped breaking out. And now my skin looks better than ever. And you win together. And that is incredible. And if you grab 3 friends, you can also earn back $380, right? This month. This is not like a $30 referral bonus. This is a friendship bonus of paying for your first 2 months plus of products. The company is so confident in what they have and that it's going to work if you give it 90 days to start to see results, or if an autoimmune, like at least 6 months, that you go all in, that you commit to your health, you commit to yourself. Commit to yourself. Write yourself a note on the mirror. I am worth this. I am worth it. You're not doing this for anybody else. You're not doing this for your husband, even though he'll like touch your stomach and you'll be like, that's right, no bloating, right? You're not doing this for you could do it for your kids, but you're doing this for you so that you can show it better. And you're going to grab 3 friends and you're going to blow your mind with the $380 that shows up in your bank account and be like, yes, this is amazing, because it is amazing. And you will naturally start to think of people that this can help, because we are in a world filled with so many people struggling and suffering and not telling anyone about it, right? Not one person will put on social media, today I had diarrhea and sprinted to the bathroom. It's not going to happen, or I haven't pooped in a week. But you're going to think of those people, and you're going to start sharing what you're doing, and you will find those people and you will help those people, and everything will be worth it. So I hope you guys are all fired up, because I am, because I love what I do and I love that we get to help people. So does anyone have any questions? You can unmute yourself. You can put it in the comments. If not, we can wrap this up. Okay. Lori's pumped. She's ready, and she's going to help her kid get off his 3 monster drinks with a stick of active. They're going to toast each other every day and feel awesome. Does anyone else have any other questions or thoughts?
Yeah, my
Antidepressants for
son,
16 years. Yeah, I was on those too.
I'm so tired of it. And I've always been like an energetic person, but it feels like now I'm 53 and I'm postmenopausal, and I'm so tired all the time, just tired. And I had my labs done and my thyroid is weird. And,
Mhm.
you know, I just want to have more energy, and feel good.
So this is Julia on no more antidepressants. And if you're on a low dose, and that's what you have to be on forever, but this is like 9 a.m. energy. And I didn't even have, yes, I did have an active this morning because I went to the gym. You get to have like 8 a.m., 9 a.m. energy at 7:30 at night. And I have 4 children. Like that is the beauty of it. And then you get to go to sleep and like sleep deeply all night and wake up and be like, I can do this again. Like I have Linda on this call. I have other people that are like, her husband has said, like, I feel like I'm getting my wife back, like the wife that I married. Like that is the coolest part of all of this, like the energetic fun. I'm not napping for 3 hours a day. And the doctors just tell you, you're off. They don't say why, they don't do any digging, and you're just like left feeling helpless. And so I'm here to tell you that you can advocate for your health, that you can fight for your health, that you can take your doctors and not see them anymore. Because I used to go get labs drawn every 2 months for my drugs. And the last time I took the kids in for their well baby, they all said, we haven't seen you guys in a long time. And I said, I know, isn't that great? Because we used to be there a lot and I hated it. I hated being sick and not knowing what to do about it. So how does it work? Brooke, do you have any thoughts when someone has had bariatric surgery? I asked due to malabsorption issues.
Yeah, I have a video of one of my friends that had bariatric surgery, and she shares her story. So I could pass that along to anybody that wants it. Her name is Alyssa Snyder. And so if you specifically want some more information about that, just reach out to me or to the person that invited you to this call, and I can share that information with you. But typically, yeah, you do have to take, more vitamins, more omegas, and there are absorption issues. But things that can help with absorption issues are having supplements that are in the bioavailable forms, so that you are getting the nutrients in the form that your body does know how to absorb, as opposed to a lot of supplements that you could take that are not in the bioavailable form. Plus, on top of that, you have malabsorption issues, and it just makes it worse. So yeah, definitely, I get anybody that's had that kind of surgery on our X Factor, our Mega X. They take the triplex typically, and a lot of them also love active and our lean shakes, because the lean shakes are packed with nutrients, fiber, protein, healthy fats, fully methylated vitamins. So it's a great source of nutrients for anybody that's had gastric surgery.
Yeah, and I wrote too, we didn't talk about our kids' products, but all of our kids' products are also methylated. So kids that struggle with skin issues, health issues, getting sick a lot, all the different things that kids struggle with right now, this is huge for them as well. So all of our kids take all of the products, all of their versions of the products as well. And that's what I love, is that they're capsules. So you can open up the capsules of the triplex and put it into yogurt until your little kids can swallow them. And you can open the bio cleanse, and now you have no more kids. Okay, Linda's saying we had guests at our house and 17 went through the flu and I did not. You guys, you are living more when you're not in bed, like just being like, we just get sick. Oh, we're sick again. Sorry, we got sick. We can't come. Can't come. We can't come. Johnny's sick, then Mary's sick, then Eli's sick, then you know what I mean? Like that circulating illness. It's pretty awesome. I don't walk around terrified of COVID because I have a healthy immune system. And if I get it, I get it, but I'm not terrified. But you know what? Like 5 years ago, I was on a injection that severely compromised my immune system. And I would be that person that as soon as the pandemic hit, that I would be inside the house terrified for an entire year. And instead, I was in line at Costco for an hour and a half fighting for my toilet paper because I wasn't terrified. But that drug would completely compromise my immune system, and I wouldn't have been able to do that. I'm about 8 weeks out from chemo, and I'm not afraid to get out. That's Kelly. And she's amazing. She's a fighter. We're fighting with her. So yeah, we can wrap this up. If you guys have any more questions, just reach out to the person that invited you. But we're so excited that you took and grateful that you took your time tonight to come in and listen. It looks like Lori's got one more thought or question. What have you got? Charlene, I can't hear you. Do you have something to say? Okay. Lori, do you have any more thoughts? If not, we can wrap up. Thank you guys for coming. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you feel, if you've been on these products for a while, I hope you feel pumped up and still glad that you're on the products. And if you're new, I hope you learned something new and you learned that you get to be in control of your health. And there are things out there that can help you, whether that's financial, whether that's with community, whether that's your health, whether that's somebody that you've thought of during this call, your mom, your sister, your best friend. There is a solution. And it's not talked about, but it is coming out more and more and more in the magazines, Whole Foods, gut health, and the microbiome. And we're here with an answer. And it does take time, but it absolutely works.
It sounds great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good night, everyone. Thanks for coming.
Good night. Thank you.
You're welcome.